this is a huge episode, man. This is round 2.
That's why I was struggling with my beer choice. I was putting a lot of, I mean, I'm decisioned out, you know what I mean, from a long week, but I was like super stoked about this episode. And I was like, man, do I pull out like a trophy beer that I'm saving for the oyster eat for this? And I'm like, well, number one, the oyster eat's ways off. So these beers are usually like, drink it fresh. So I'm like, saving this might not be worth it. And I was like, this is also a big episode, man. We need a big beer for this episode. So
Oh man, I'm like worried I'm gonna disappoint you. I'll go
well, you're
first.
still disappointed because you still brought something, hopefully. You didn't bring, like, iced
Oh, I
tea or
brought something.
okay.
I brought something. Here's my thought process. It's like you've done a lot of Delaware beers. I've done a lot of Delaware beers, but we haven't done the Delaware beer yet. Even though it used to be the big dog on campus, and there's tons of stuff. Big dog on campus, is that a saying?
I don't know,
No,
should I
I don't
predict
think it
what this
is.
beer is?
Oh, it's dog fish head, man.
Okay,
It's
well,
dog
that's
fish
that's
head.
why you went big dog on campus. I don't know, like, hold it
60
up.
minute, man.
Oh,
60 minute, man. It's just a basic 60 minute. It's
it's
like this
classic.
is like pretty basic around here now, but
Yeah.
like once upon a time, it was a big thing. And of course, you've appeared on Brewmasters at one time.
Yeah, man,
Once
B-roll action on that show, and it got cut because the advertisers were gonna get pulled, I guess, from, like, Discovery Channel, like, the big beer guys were like, "We're pulling it if you keep showing it." That was before, like, there was a second wave of the craft beer world and they like pushed back even harder. But that's become like the Yingling of Pennsylvania. This is like Delaware's version, right? Now it's like 60 minutes, pretty standard West Coast. It almost feels nostalgic at this point. So that's a good beer. It's
it does.
solid. Yeah.
It's so good.
Well,
And the restaurant's great too. I mean, but what do you got?
yeah, so I went big, like I was saying, and we took a trip. We went through New York. This beer originally is from Massachusetts. It's Treehouse Brewing Company. So they're pretty much the gold standard across the nation of like awesome hazy beers. They have started opening up a bunch of other locations. So there's one in New York, Saratoga Springs, New York. So I actually was able to snag a case of these beers, like random ones. One's called Focus on the Light, and it's 10.6 ABV on this thing.
Oh
So
man, you're gonna be wasted at the end of this episode.
cool. So we'll see how thick it is in pours. But this is a big episode, like we're saying, right? So we're ranking our finalists, and I think we need something that's an OG beer like 60, and then something big like this that's supposed to be the pushing the limits of IPAs, haziness, and I don't know, snagging these beers from different trips and things. So here we
Oh
go.
man.
Looks
God, you
pretty.
are an expert. You are an
Looks
expert pourer, man.
looks
You are
pretty.
an expert pourer.
All right, cheers to this episode. Here we go.
So this is the only episode where we're actually going to be giving out any sort of grand prize. It's all expenses paid. No, we're just gonna buy 3 books. We're gonna buy 3 books,
That's right.
but so the winners will have to share their winnings with Amazon, unfortunately. But
That's
but
okay.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna rank all of our winners plus our wild card, our Bigfoot book that snuck in last week. So we have 7 books total. We're gonna start from the bottom. Do you want to go first? You want to name your bottom one first, or should I go first, or should we alternate? There's no rules. We can do whatever we want.
You're the MC. I think you need to kick it off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you kick it off.
All right. So my number 7. Do I have a way to do a drum roll? I thought I did. Well, I won't
Man.
figure it out. But my number 7 is the Button Boy.
And I'm gonna give you my number 7.
Yeah, you will give me your number 7, and if they match, we can talk about it. We'll talk when as soon as the thing's been mentioned
Went to
twice.
next.
We'll talk about it.
Should we
Huh?
suspend? Yeah, should we offer suspense? You're like, oh wait, how was your week? Before I list my number
I
7, or
feel like we kind of are already.
well, good. My number 7 is Hydra's Wake.
Ah,
Yeah,
interesting,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
My number so that means I'll be giving Button Boys 0 points, and you'll be giving Hydra's Wake 0 points. Now,
Okay.
my number 6 is Hydra's Wake. So we can talk about Hydra's Wake now. I mean, you mentioned it first. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off with Hydra's Wake, kind of how we thought about it?
Yeah. I mean, I think trying to I think throughout the all the episodes leading up to this, we've been sort of critiquing and probably sounding a little bit more Bash Brothers up in here, Mighty Ducks reference, the Bash Brothers, kind of beating up, criticizing, only reading, so many pages and thinking that we know what the book's gonna be about or where it's going or whatever. But I think trying to keep it positive. I do enjoy the speed of this book. It definitely moves pretty quickly, I feel like. So other books were a little bit slower. So this one, that's a positive to me. It's moving fast. There's a lot of action going on. I like the two planet worlds. I think that's a cool idea. Um, I think though it's just the bottom of the list because when I think about all the other books we've read, the hook that we keep talking about, wanting to kind of continue forward, I just felt like the story itself, although it's exciting, wasn't as intriguing to me. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I just thought the writing itself was not quite as good as some of the other ones, but I mean, it was interesting enough. I mean, I honestly thought it would make a because the front cover is so good.
yeah,
I mean, I was like, this would be a great graphic novel or something, like a comic book
yeah,
where you don't have to do some of that internal monologue stuff where it's just action and
yeah.
forward and monsters. I think it would have been really good, like comic book,
So
really.
I think because the book moves so fast, there's this Hydra, and I really do like the planets. I like the airships kind of going between them. I think that's really cool. So I think it's set up well. I wouldn't even though this is the bottom of my list. I'd be okay having to read it. I mean, I think that's the positive spin on all this. I'd read this. But as I said, picking and choosing ranking. When the Hydra appears, I feel like because the book moves so fast, a suspense wasn't built of what it is. Now, maybe there's curiosities like why are the animals just sitting there and being eaten? Is it because of the Hydra's power and trance that the gas that it emits, toxins? Why is the base still abandoned? And then there's this other now this guy's gonna be uh hunted for some reason.
Right.
And that didn't add any additional suspense to me. It seems like there's gonna be a lot of action in this book. It's gonna be fast moving, which is why I would read it. But it just didn't have enough depth there for me to like rank it higher than I did.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree, and I'm not gonna bash it any more than we already did because it was, like I said, it was good. It won its round. I mean, I would continue if I didn't have anything else to read, but we got other competition.
There we go.
So what is your number six?
My six is your seven. So the button boy. Um, it I have to say, continuing to read it, I am enjoying kind of going through the timeline, the building of the characters, a little bit of the history here. It kind of reminds me of like a Nicholas Sparks book turned into a movie or something like, The Summer Love or something. Not that we've had a lot of romance. It's really just kind of like gone through a timeline here. Um, I will say I wouldn't mind continuing with this book either. Like I think all these books are great, so I think that's awesome. I would keep reading this one, but it is lacking a little bit of excitement. And I think that's why it's still lower on my list.
I mean, there's just not enough. Like, I mean, especially when we get down the list, we got werewolves and we got crazy puzzles. We got Bigfoot. I mean, there's just crazy stuff going on that's
Yeah,
just firing off my synapses the whole time. Like in a way, this one just isn't. I mean, it's just one of those kinds of stories. I think it's probably something for somebody, but it's probably not anything for us. So I'm not surprised that we're on the same page here because
yeah,
the way I kind of did my list is I had my two at the bottom, which are the two we just mentioned, and they actually flipped spots a couple of times. I mean, I
yeah.
was like, which one? Da, 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 da. And then I have my number one, and then I have all the rest of them, and they were joshing around the
You
whole
just
the
you
whole
just
time.
described my scenario too. So I have these two at the bottom of the list. And they were a little bit they were ranked the lowest, obviously. And then I have the main chunk of them all there, and then I have my top pick. So it's very interesting to hear that you feel like you have the same scenario of your
Oh,
ranking.
exactly. My
Yeah.
my number 1 never changed, these 2 on the
I'm
bottom never
curious
changed,
where
but
these are
these
gonna
ones
how these are gonna
were
stack up
crazy.
though. Like,
I
are
don't
we the same?
know.
All right, let's jump into our meat and potatoes then. Apparently,
Oh, yeah,
apparently
this is
it's
this
a
is this
buffet.
is the this is the meat and the potatoes. I mean, so is it my turn?
Yeah.
My number 5, and this, as I was just saying, I mean, at one point, this was as high as number 3. as I was going through them. But my number 5 is, Blood Red Moon.
Oh, okay. We don't have a match here. And
Uh-uh.
my number 5, this one's really throwing me for a loop. Um and I really don't know where I should have tucked it. So I had to think back to the other books. I mean, as we finished reading full previews and things, I also had to think back to like when I was originally reading some of these books and how much easier it was for me to move through them or continue reading some of them. This one for me was one I think where um that week I had read minimal of the books, and so it was harder for me to gauge which way to go. And I think this is a winner that you sort of led. But I'm glad that you selected it and pushed us as a winner because, um, now that I've read more, I almost feel like this could have made my number 3, but somehow it stayed at 5, and that is, Whispers of the Storm. So yeah.
My number 4, uh, again, this one was our very first week. It is The Wickedest of Things, and it does improve. I'm not even gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it when you name it. But,
Okay.
now my number 4 is The Wickedest of Things.
My number 4 is I Know What I Saw.
Oh.
This is getting
My number th
getting juicy.
it's I know it's getting tight, man. It's getting tight. It's getting
Uh-huh.
tight. Oh my god, I should be keeping score here. Oh my
Oh, yeah,
god,
what are you doing?
oh my god, I fucked this up.
Yeah. Also, we've not this show's not been too
Oh,
explicit,
man.
so man, you really are.
Oh
So,
my god. Right. So Blood Red Moon
was your
got was my number 5, so it got 2 points. What was your number 5?
Whispers of the Storm.
Whispers of the Storm. So
Mhm.
that got 2 points for you. And my number 4 was The Wickedest of Things, so I gave that 3. What was your number 4? That was I Know What I Saw, so that got 3 points for you. So my number 3 is which I will be awarding 4 points for. So I Know What I Saw is going to have 7 points total. So my number um 3 is I Know What I Saw, which is the one that we just brought back in. So we've named it twice. So this one, when I originally read it, I only read the prologue, which was the dream, and then I read chapter 1, which was the stuff at the school. And a lot of the problems I had when I read it back then are the same problems I have now, which is just basically she's just wandering around this school with all this stuff going on. But the thing is, the author has done a way better job than some of these other guys to me of just making me want to figure out what's going on in the woods.
Okay.
Like I'm really interested to solve that mystery, even though some of it is a little like, it's a little boring. I mean, I guess so. I can spoil what happens in the sample. So I mean, chapter 1, we got the dream. Chapter 2, she goes to school. There's something weird going on in the woods. She's responsible in some way for somebody's death. But I mean, one of the other problems I have with this one is the narrator definitely knows what happened in the woods, and she very conveniently just like she'll be about to tell us in the course of the book, and then
Yeah.
like somebody will talk, and then it'll be like, oh, never mind, I'm not talking to the reader anymore, I'm talking to this person over here, where it's like, come on, man. Like, here's what I'm gonna say about this, because this was the one that moved around the most on my list, because I was like,
Yeah.
we pulled it back in, we pulled it back in.
Back in.
So
I'm glad it did. I think it did deserve to be brought back in. I think it did
it
deserve to be
did.
brought back in. I really
So
do. It was I mean, it's a good one. I mean, obviously it climbed your list, right? So,
it did.
top
Well, I
3.
mean, we haven't mentioned the other one that it faced yet,
I
but
know. Well, we'll get to that. I think you're right though, the way that, the author here, you know, just keeps holding out on what happened in the woods. And I will say, some of the scenarios that were being, like the conversations in the school and stuff like that, they're interesting enough. I think there's moments where like we talk about the hook, and I keep mentioning the hook, but I think that we leaned on that so heavily early on, that like could you give up on this book? I always joke with I'm like laugh at myself because I'm like, but it's there's Bigfoot in it though, man. This is important. Like this book's good because it's
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Like I'm like,
There
so,
better be Bigfoot.
you know, I'm not really into Bigfoot.
Bigfoot better
Yeah.
show up.
I think my t-shirt's Bigfoot again. I think I have a Bigfoot t-shirt on again. Yeah, yeah, there's Bigfoot shirt on again. I mean, I'm like, I'm in this Bigfoot Sasquatch thing. I actually wanted to mention I drove through Whitehall, New York, going up to Vermont the other week, and hence the New York beer and everything like that too. So as I was driving, I was like, oh my gosh, this is this Whitehall, New York, Sasquatch capital of the world. Like you saw little figures on the side of the road and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I get it. That's cool. So it also made me think about the book more. So I really do feel like this like embracing of this book. I definitely would want to keep going with this one. I know I didn't rank it as high as you. What is it? My four spot, right? So I mean, it almost got into the top three. I think just like Whispers of the Storm was bouncing for me, this one was bouncing a little bit like you're saying. Um, I think I thought back to the fact that this was a wild card brought back in, kind of thinking like, up, it didn't win the other weeks, this and that. Like, where does it really fall? I'd probably want to keep reading this one, even though it wasn't in my top three, and maybe I will. But I'm very intrigued what happened in the woods. And where the is this it's not her fault, it's her fault, somebody's dead because it's her fault, another sighting. What is the it's your fault thing plus Bigfoot? As we said during the
Like, she has done a really good job of making me want to know what the hell happened. But I mean, I'm gonna be like I said, if I get to the end, then I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you. But I mean, I'm interested. I'm
yeah,
like, she's got me hooked. She did as for a show that's all about the hook. She definitely has got me hooked. I want to know what happened in the woods,
yeah.
even though I feel like she could just tell me, but she's not
Yeah.
doing it. But
Well, and
but,
you're making me regret my number three, but I'm gonna hold strong. So my number three, right? Because that's where we're at.
right.
My number three is Blood Red Moon. Uh,
Blood Red Moon.
yeah.
So Blood Red Moon will come in with a total of 6 points. 6 points for Blood Red Moon. But yeah, so go ahead. You can kick it off with Blood Red.
Um, so I know we kind of this one won out during the book battle week. Um, but I think what happened when I kept reading was I'm liking this main character build out a little bit. Um, there's something about it. They're entering the zoo, and he's obviously needing to. He's entering his werewolf cycle, I guess you could say. He's cycling, man. He's got this heavy duty beard going on, even his arms and everything, and he's approaching all the different animals in the zoo, and you can see there's this, he's is the primordial animal characteristics coming out that the animals respect him. He knows how to let the zoo animal feel dominant, whatever it is. There's a connection there. I mean, the whole point too is they're also going to the zoo to pick up the buddy's sister or
Cousin.
yeah, cousin. So I mean, I think they're gonna even like throw in this like eventually we're gonna get this like romance element to this as well, perhaps. Or not, who cares? But like either
Oh, we definitely will. We
I think
definitely
so.
will.
But I
Yeah.
like that he's like, what are you doing this weekend?" His buddy asks him as they're driving out to the zoo. And it's like, it's kind of a boring scene in a way, but it's short. But they're just driving along. He's like, yeah, not too much. Probably just eat some tacos and do this, and then eat some more tacos and do this, and eat some more tacos. Kind of joking. And then in his mind, he's like, actually, I'm gonna go in the woods, take my clothes off, and go like kill something and eat it like a werewolf. I'm kind of like, I, I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of like, this book might get a little crazy. It kind of started off a little crazy, which I actually the opener didn't.
Didn't like as
I
much.
didn't
Yeah.
like the opener. It was a little too much,
But
too
I don't know.
bad wet.
But I feel like it needed it because then
Yeah.
you have these scenes where you're just in the car and da 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 da. Da. So, and
Mhm.
honestly, and when we had the show on, I was when I'd read just the prologue in chapter one, I was like, oh, you didn't really need that. But now that I've read a little more, I'm like, well, you probably did just to give it a little juice
Yeah.
because otherwise it's just werewolves driving around in cars, and you
Now,
need to do something.
so this was your five, right?
This is my 5. I mean, and I had this up a lot higher at one point. I had this up at 3, but the more I actually spent a lot of time this is probably the one I spent the most time with today,
Did
because trying
you
to figure out where to put it.
Yeah. Did you
My
like?
big problem with it is the character
Okay.
because he's like, how old is he?
Oh,
He's like
I.
100. He's like been a werewolf for like
Oh,
150
oh,
years.
you're right. Yeah, I was like, I don't know how old he is. No, yeah, because he wrote his history book on the Reconstruction after the Civil War. I liked the little fun thing there of the age. I didn't know if that was a thing or not with werewolves, like versus
I
vampires.
didn't think so either, but I mean, the thing is, it would just like his character just doesn't make sense to me
Yeah.
because here's this guy. I mean, if he's like 150 years old, that means, like you said, Civil War. I mean, he's probably born in like 1850 or whatever. But then you see him now, he's just like your basic liberal college professor that's talking about power dynamics and da 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 da. A guy that had his informative years in the year 1860 don't give a shit about power dynamics. I'm telling you right now, he
Yeah.
should be like, he would be a more interesting because it's such a good idea for a character. And it's just like, man, it would be so much more interesting if he was like, maybe a little racist, maybe a little sexist, just out of time. Just somebody that's
Yeah.
out of time that was from the mid 1800s.
Yeah.
Like like I feel like there's just something missing there where it's just like he's just like a bro, you know. It's like, but
He's a little too. Yeah. I see.
yeah. I mean, this
I
is
don't
a
know.
guy that was like he was like bathing in the river, you know. Like, come on.
That's an interesting. Yep. I mean, like that's kind of cool because I could see building out a character a lot differently, like you're saying, versus like where he's like perhaps high. I don't want to say it's on purpose the way he drew, like wrote up his character, but like, um, hiding maybe depth that could be there from, being around that long, like what would he know? What would be his perspective? Would he act like the old man versus a young frat boy professor? I don't know. I'm adding a bunch of assignments to a book. Where I only read the preview, but but that's all right. So I mean, you feel like there could have been more there for the age of the character. So you're weighing all these books out and where they stack up. Um,
Exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would have picked it wouldn't have stopped me from reading if we weren't doing it like this. I would have just kept going. But I mean, the way we are and we're really trying to like weigh it against something else. It's like, do I really like this character as much as I did when I was just comparing him against that the book he was facing that week. I mean, it's still an interesting character. It's an interesting idea and maybe they will do something like that, as we move through it. But where do you think that story's going? Because I mean, I'm guessing all werewolf stories end with two werewolves just fighting each other. I mean, here's what I think. I think his best friend is toast. I think his best friend is like the middle of the book. He's the sacrifice. I think
yeah,
he is the middle of the book sacrifice.
yeah,
And then, like we've said all along, the main character is going to get with the
yeah.
with the cousin,
Yeah.
and then I think it's just going to be two wolves in a barn somewhere, like in
Nah,
that
man.
movie Wolf with Jack Nicholson, just scratching at each other. I think that's where that book's
Nah, the
going.
cou the cousins in, like, they her company, they've created these werewolves. They've created a werewolf, and that's why in the beginning, they're like he kinda says when he's watching the news report, like, he's been around long enough to keep, track of the different, like, werewolf families or whatever that there was something there. I didn't go back and reread it, but I feel like there was some sort of mention that, following along, like, the different werewolves and knowing their sense and this and that these he knows they're werewolves, but he's like, so this is something new. And so if it's something new, then you're here and you have this like, bioengineering zoologist cousin doing something, and there's a wolf in the scene. I'm thinking we're gonna marry.
I mean, it was good, but like I said, I mean, it was, and obviously it's going to have a good score here. It's got a score of 6, which is nothing to sneeze at. So,
If someone wanted to do quick math or something, if they're special and they can do this, they can already figure out what we have left. For me, like I think it's good to reiterate where we're at as a countdown score. And for anybody that's
all right.
watching that doesn't want to put too much thought into where we're at with who we've already selected. What do you think?
So, but I love it. So, Button Boy has 0 points. It has no opportunity to gain any more points.
It didn't
That
get 1
is
point?
no. I'm sorry, not Button Boy. Button Boy has 1 point, and it has no opportunity to gain any more points.
Okay.
Hydra's weight has 1 point, and it has no opportunity to get any more points. Number 5. What was number 5? Number 5. Well, my number 5 is Blood Red Moon. When it's got, I'll just do it by Milo's. Blood Red Moon has 6 points, because I gave it 2 and you gave it 4. Uh, I Know What I Saw has 7 points, and it cannot get any more points. So those 2 are done. Now I gave Wickedest of Things 3 points. You have not mentioned Wickedest of Things, and you gave Whispers of the Storm 2 points, and I haven't come to that one yet. So
Oh my
my
goodness. Oh, this recapping might have been too much of a sneak peek anyways, and I don't know. It just
I
reminded
know.
me
Well,
of
I
this.
know, right? Well, we can.
Oh.
I'll do
Yeah,
some
yeah,
fancy
yeah.
editing.
All right.
So
So
my
we're getting to
num
number two.
Yeah, you wanna do your number 2 or my well, I
This
guess we know what our I mean, I'm guessing you could guess mine and I could guess yours. But my number 2 is Whispers of the Storm. So, this was the only fantasy one we did. I mean, so Whispers of the Storm, so that's my number 2, so I'm gonna give it, 6 points. So, that means it's gonna have a total of 8.
okay.
Whispers of the Storm will have 8 points total. So, this one was just good. I mean, it was just it's a fantasy, but it's got really quick chapters, which is an unusual thing with fantasy. It's got a character that I'm sort of interested in. I know where he ends up at the end of the story. I kind of want to see how he gets there. He basically has been traded in to this like school of assassins or something. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
clear if they're assassins, but they're definitely like doing something.
Dude.
Interesting. It's fast. I can read it fast. I was enjoying it. I mean, but honestly, at one point I had this down at number 5 at one point because I was like, "Am I really that into it? I don't know." I mean, this was the hardest one for me, honestly, to
Yeah.
rank, but it I honestly settled on number 2 because I was like, I'm confident that I feel good about where it's going and that it's gonna hit some beats that I'm gonna find really satisfying. But, what are your thoughts here on Whispers of the Storm, which has
Yeah.
8 points?
Well, I like it. I kind of already gave like a little spiel about it when I positioned it at 5. But I mean, reading back through it, or continuing to read it and getting further into it past the prelude or chapter 1 where he's in the carriage. I reread that scenario scene 2 where he's sort of being interviewed, and I mean it's quite the back and forth is quite clever feeling. It feels good. It makes you think that the rest of the writing and the narrative is going to sound good. And then the jumping into the timeline of where he's younger. And he talks about his childhood, but it leaves it kind of short. Like I don't really want to talk too much, but then it gets into when he is like sold into this like assassin thing. It's very intriguing. My mind, I'm kind of building a story and building this. I'm following him. They're walking, and it's like what is he gonna do? What's happening here? Why is the dad quietly taking him somewhere? I didn't expect him to be sold, but you knew something ominous was coming. I kind of felt like this is where this one's gonna fall because the other ones you read either you went through the preview quicker, meaning you like enjoyed it more. It was an easier read for you. You felt connected to it more. Your first reaction was better. The hook, whatever you want to say. So I mean that's why it fell lower on my list. But I honestly, if we find ties, which I don't even know if the scores line up that way,
I think we're going to. I think we're gonna have to deal.
this one could be tiebreaker of any sort. This would be one though you could easily argue with me to move it higher up the list. I'll put it that way. So definitely great
Okay.
this one.
Alright, so, so that was your number no, that was my number 2. So we
Hmm.
need your number 2,
All right.
which I think I
I'm
know
gonna,
what it is, but
yeah. So my number two is after hyping some of these other ones, I feel really weird about this number two, but it's Carousel. Um, which is like honestly I feel like if I saw the book covers and I thought about the plot of this one, this would probably be at the bottom of the list.
we can't talk about it. Don't talk about it yet. Don't talk about it yet. Don't talk about it yet. I haven't done it yet. There's an order to this show.
Wait, wait, wait,
Don't
wait,
talk about it
wait. Wait, my number two is Carousel. Sorry.
yet.
Here's the good. So my number two is Carousel.
Okay, number 2 is Carousel. My, number, so was that that's 5 points for that, and and my number 1 is Carousel. So Carousel's got a total points of 11, and now we can talk about it. Now go ahead. Now go crazy on Carousel. If you had told me that my favorite book that we read was gonna be about 2 lesbian high school girls that went into the woods to an abandoned carnival. I would've told you were crazy, but it was good. Like, she's doing the best job of just like, "I wanna know what happens next." You've
Yeah,
got it's really, really focused. We don't have a lot of other characters. We really just got 2, really. I
right
mean, we
now.
really just got the 2 right now. I mean,
Yeah, well, I think
there's some other people at the party, but they're probably not even coming back. I mean, we've
yeah,
just got these 2 characters. They're interesting enough. The sexual tension is interesting enough. I
yeah,
think they are gonna be into each other because the one girl definitely seemed like she was like d like down for whatever. It
yeah,
seemed
yeah,
like
yeah.
but, I mean, I was into it. I'm like, "I wanna know what happens next at this carnival." I mean, this was my number 1 the whole time. I had my number 1, and then I was trying to figure out everybody else.
Yeah, it's crazy because like this book, when I see this carnival thing, it reminds me of something that feels like goth hot topic or something like that, from like throwing it back to like late '90s or something. I just feel like it was nothing in my style. And reading it, like you said, it's very the writing and the story, and I was hooked. It could go down here really quick with cheesiness, but at least this read the full preview to me has been solid. I mean, it's like said to find it at number 2. I thought back this one. I read through the full preview. I was ready to keep going. I was excited about it. It was easy. The only thing I had about this one, which made me a little concerned with this ranking it so high, was that I feel like the preview was a little shorter than some of the other books. Maybe not,
Then, I mean, maybe it just felt shorter because you were reading it faster.
perhaps. I mean, it was, dude. I'm excited to keep reading it. I have high hopes for it, and it feels like a it'll be an enjoyable read too. I mean, sometimes it's like you're reading something, oh, this is a good story. I would read this or this, but like, do you really want to read it? Or you just like, okay, I picked it up, so I'm gonna finish it, and it's good enough to finish. I think everything here we picked up is good enough to finish for sure. I'm thinking like Final Destination stuff, this glass sticking out. I'm like, dude, somebody's tripping all over this and getting like shredded up later. They're gonna be dragged
Right.
through it by the carnival. It's gonna get gruesome. These girls are gonna try. I don't know what's happening. I don't know, but it's gonna. I'm.
I mean,
It'll
well,
be
but
good.
you just raised an interesting point because you're like, obviously, some people got to get killed. But the thing is, you would think we'd have some characters that we would have introduced by now that we could kill off later. But we really only got 2 characters, and we really don't want to see either one of those gals get killed off. I
No, they
mean,
can't. They can't be. Yeah.
no, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to read
No.
that one. I'm really
Yeah.
stoked to read that one. So that's 11 points for that. So that only leaves one left. I mean, for you, which I can
Yeah.
calculate real quick, that
You don't
the
figure out what it is.
wickedest of things
The
is
wickedest
gonna
of
get
things.
9 points. Is your number 1.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah,
Are you?
go
Are
ahead.
you? Before I even say anything, are you surprised by my number one?
Well, I mean, here's kind of no, I don't. I mean, because he's got one of the more interesting characters of all the guys he read. I mean, I think the Blood Red Moon character is very, very interesting. Um, I think the Whispers of the Storm character is very, very interesting. But this guy is really interesting too. But the thing that was concerning me about Wickedest of Things, which is why it was lower on the list, is because number one, it's 600 pages, and a lot of these are not. And I wanted to
I didn't
get
look at
rid of
that.
it. I
Well,
I wanted I wanted to get rid of it in round one. I mean, just partly because it just felt like nothing happened. But then you were like, "Oh no, you got to read chapter 2." It's like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, chapter 2 happens." So chapter 2, what happens is you find out that this guy has like a perfect memory. Like he
yeah,
could just remember anything. So it's like they don't mention that at all in chapter 1. All I got out of chapter 1 was that the guy was an asshole.
kind of.
Like
Yeah, yeah, like
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, and then
He's
it's like,
not
"Oh,
liked.
chapter 2,
Yeah,
oh, he's interesting." He could and then in chapter 3, it's like, "Oh, he's been married," and you got some interesting thing there with that character because it's like because to have a perfect memory could be handy, but it also is could be kind of a curse. Um, so one of the more interesting characters, but for me, I felt like since it was like 600 pages, and the whole time I'm like identifying things, I'm like, oh, I would cut this, I would cut this, I would cut
Yeah.
this, I would cut this. You know, like I would have cut all
Okay.
of chapter one. I would have squeezed chapter one into one paragraph and made chapter two chapter one. And I
Okay.
think it would have been, but like I said, I just, but he has the most interesting character of almost anybody I think that we've looked at. That's kind of where I
Yeah.
came on it.
Well, but where'd you put this one, by the way? Remind me.
I
Where'd you
had this one get I mean, I had this one above Blood Red Moon. I had this was my number 4. This was
number
my number
4?
4.
Now, without this main character being such an intriguing character, and I like where the story's going. So this is definitely like my number 1. I'll be like vulnerable. It's probably just something that I think I personally like. You know what I mean? Like maybe not. Maybe it's not that it's such great writing or this or that. Or you're saying like it's gonna take 600 pages when they should be sticking to this 300, 400 page realm to knock it out. But the main character is very intriguing. And even setting him up in the first chapter, I think is, you say things can be cut and edited down. Okay, but I'm not mad about how it was introduced now that I got through it. I will say the 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 way he writes though at well, here's one. Okay, let me just say, like he, in the rest of the preview, he talks about um chocolate covered raisins soaked in Jägermeister. Uh, then cursed by an evil wizard was a description for some, I think, some sort of edible bees that he brought on a picnic. Okay, so it says it was like you were eating a chocolate covered raisin soaked in Jägermeister, then cursed by an evil wizard. It's that hadn't resurfaced since chapter one, the bolognese, and so it still cracks me up. It's kind of like it just, I don't know why. It just doesn't, that's the only thing that doesn't really connect with me, even though it's on my mind. So I'm definitely remembering this guy's writing style. But like besides that, I think that the story's like, I like where it's going. I like that he's driving to the headquarters of this, Horizon,
Definitely seems cool.
cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
We got some interesting things. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think it's going to be really intriguing. I think maybe the duration of the book, it needs to keep the intrigue going, the puzzle. Maybe the guy, you see the curse of having this kind of memory. In the preview, the full preview, if anybody's reading it, so no spoiler right there. He's kind of haunted by obviously a car crash where his wife dies. And so we don't know anything about that, like his fault, whatever, why, but he's definitely haunted by it. And the fact that he has this ability, um,
I
it
mean, that's
doesn't,
a curse. I mean,
yeah,
you
it's
can
a curse
remember it
thing.
so
So,
clearly. You
yeah,
can't forget. So just he's a very interesting character. Is it a little crazy? Like, how realistic is somebody having like absolutely perfect memory? Not very realistic at all. But it's interesting,
yeah,
and that is job number 1. It
yeah,
is interesting enough. I think he over describes some things sometimes. Like, well, that's what I mean where it could be edited down. Like, I mean,
yeah.
not that his descriptions are bad. It's just, are they adding anything to the scene? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I'll critique all I want because it's my number one pick. So, like, you know,
all right.
cheers, bro. It's like it was
Cheers,
good.
bro.
So, I
Cheers, bro.
mean,
All
like,
right. How did we stack up here?
yes.
Um,
What's our point? What's our rankings? What's our rankings based on points? Who cares where we ranked everything anymore? We talked about it
all right.
like individually. What is our book battle summary points? What's the listing here? You got a pen?
All right.
You got
So,
some accounting
Hydra
clerk or something?
Yeah, I'll put something on the screen. I'll do something pretty. But
Okay.
Hydra's Wake and Button Boy are tied at the bottom with
Okay.
1 point each. Uh Blood Red Moon got 6 points. I Know What I Saw got 7 points. Whispers of the Storm, 8 points. Wickedest of Things, 9 points. And Carousel, 11 points. So Carousel, Wickedest of Things, Whispers of the Storm, those three are moving on to the next round. We're going to read the whole books. We're going to buy them too. We're going to spend money. We're going to
Yeah.
read them. We're going to critique them. It's going to be great. Everybody else has been eliminated. Oh, there. Hold everything. Flag on the field. For those of our dozen viewers that made it through first grade arithmetic, you may have noticed an error. 5 plus 2 equals 7, not 8. In the middle of the show, I accidentally awarded Whispers of the Storm a phantom eighth point, which means they are actually in a tie with I Know What I Saw. You can probably guess what this all means. That's right, everyone. We're going to overtime.